Today we're going to talk about the Voigtlander Vito C camera. So the Vito C was built by Balda in 1980, supposedly. It's hard to find the documentation respectively, but probably 1980. It was made by Balda, this West German company that also built it under another name, the Balda CA35, and also later the Review 35XE. Sorry, it's a clamshell design, as you can see. Very reminiscent of another camera. Let me get it. The Minox 35mm. Slightly different, not the same lens, of course, but there are some look-alike things coming out from both those cameras, and there's one big reason. Karl-Heinz Lange was one of the designers and worked on the Rollei 35mm, and basically Rollei owned Minox and also Voigtlander at one point. Then there has been some sales, kind of a complex future between Balda and Voigtlander. But anyhow, on this camera you had this 38mm f2.8 color scope lens, which we will see the results in the photos coming up. Very interesting lens. It's not a rangefinder, it's a viewfinder, and distance is set simply on the lens here. Not much more to do. There's no real settings for aperture. It's an automatic aperture camera, and pretty light. Seems old plasticky, but very precise. Originally felt a little bit toy-like, but once the results were seen, my doubts kind of evaporated. It's way lighter than the Minox, interestingly. And yeah, the results are not the same character for the lens. There's also Vito without the C of the same period, which had another type of lens, the Voigtlander lens, a little bit simpler, still 38mm f5.6. And I believe a CL, which had a timer, a self-timer, but I couldn't find these. Otherwise, this camera was really interesting, also because it shared a name with another Voigtlander, the Vito C, that was sold between 1959 and 1967, which can make it confusing when you're looking on secondhand shops. And that's about it. Let's go see a few examples. After, we'll also look at some add-ons and some details of the camera. The first two examples are, I would say, using what was a relatively new film at the time of the video, the Lomo Lomochrome Color 92 film, a 400 ISO film. That's in Zurich, Lake Zurich on the right, a detail of a room on the left. It's a good lens, good camera too, even so you can't change much apart from the focus. You don't have access to the exposition time, and the aperture works great, and the rendering is really nice. Here again, two pictures in Milan. As you can see, it does work really well technically, even with the sun in the background. Exposition is all relatively well managed. Hardly have any missed shot technically. That's in a park in Milan. Here again on the left, a detail one of the famous constructions in Milan, just to show how geometrically it works. Everything works pretty well. Very nice optical formula, and the camera is a breeze to use. And on the right, that's a detail of the center of Reykjavik city, the geometrical patterns. And the film is kind of cold, but warm cold. It's kind of a weird output, but interesting to have this new kind of film stock. But yeah, as you can see with those two last pictures also was using this film. I took the picture on the left. You've probably seen an equivalent one taken with another camera, another film or sensor. I just wanted to show that we still have some depth of field sometimes, and the picture on the left you can see what height looks like, but you don't control it, which is I think a shame. But anyhow, very pleasurable camera, and as you can see on the right, it manages pretty well expositions, even with this sunrise on Lake Léman in the French-speaking part of Geneva, Lake Geneva for some of you. Here, that's quite a few months back, using an expired film, the Polaroid HDF1. Not really sure how old that film was, but very interesting rendering. But again, it reveals how good this lens is, and the camera manages really well the exposition. That's a 100 ISO film, but very grainy, probably due to its age and the compensation for its expiredness while developing. Again, same film. Just again, two examples to show how you can take pictures, really good geometrical rendering, and the exposition system works great, even on the picture on the right. The one on the left, that's Reykjavik. The one on the right, let's restart. On the left, Reykjavik. On the right, Great Bar, Canal 54 in Geneva. Highly recommended. You can see even so, there's really strong highlights in the focal part of the picture. It works great. Here is an even more expired film, the Lucky 100 Super GBR film. That's in the Jura Mountains in the German part of Switzerland, near Alten. On the left, probably no red pigment really left apart from those oxidation points. And on the right, that's Icelandic plains. Again, very good rendering from the camera and its lens. Going to black and white. So obviously you don't care about the rangefinder. It's not a rangefinder, but you would like to do some hyperfocal work with knowing what kind of aperture you have. But hey, sadly you can't. It's almost like a joke, but the camera works really well otherwise. Most pictures come out great technically. It's just the depth of field, you don't manage it. So as on the picture on the right, didn't work out exactly how I wanted, but pretty good nonetheless to my taste. Here again, the good idea of those last pictures in black and white are in London. The geometry works great. Technically, not much to say. Again, to catch ambiances, would be nice to be able to go more manual, but still works. And not many missed shots, technically. Here again, two last pictures from my London trip. And hopefully that gave you a small idea of what that camera is able to do and of its characteristics and character. Now that we've seen what this camera is able to do, which I believe I really got hooked on the character of the photos that came out of this optical mechanical combo. Yeah, the different things we can actually modify is the ISO, turning the ring around here, which is not really the center ring, and the ISOs are down here. We have the rewind button, which is underneath to release the film, and then you can rewind it here. And also the battery compartment is here. And a small detail which is of importance is you have a flash module that you can hook on here. Whoops. Let me put it the right way. That was right. Up here. It clips on. You set the ISOs here, and then basically, if you turn it on, up, you can set the distance and power of the flash here. You can wait for it to charge. You will have a LED turning on here to tell you that it's set. And that's about it. Really great combo. Here it's starting to light. Now it's ready. And yay. Oops. I have to rewind it first. There it goes. Yay. So yeah, very interesting. Kind of a classical in my opinion. A future classical too, probably, because it's not that well known. And yeah, hopefully you'll get one in your hands soon. In terms of look, there's a small pouch that you can buy, that's made for it by Voigtlander. You won't be able to put the flash module anymore, but the looks will be a little bit more classy. Let's say it like this. And yeah, you can protect your camera in such a way. A pretty nice add-on. And also, if you want to, we talked about the F18 flash, which is made by Balda, which has a Balda look. That's because if we look at the Balda version of the camera, apart from the fact that the name of the lens is named Baldanon instead of the original one on the Voigtlander, then the look is quite more assorted. If you look at it, that's more homogeneous in terms of looks. And here it is, the Balda C35, which is the equivalent.